I would say we're good through midnight, so any plans this evening or tonight are fine. It should impact the morning drive tomorrow, though. As you can see, the snow is still west of the Mississippi, so we wait with cloud cover around central Indiana. This is the general thinking, 1 to 2 inches of snow across central Indiana. That's the broad brush statement. We'll get into finer details. I come back for the main weather. Temperatures, they're in the low 30s now. Won't be any question about temperatures being below freezing in the morning. We wake up to temperatures around 30 with light snow falling. Temperatures inch their way above freezing tomorrow afternoon. That may help roads a bit. Let's pick up the timeline as we go through the late night and overnight. This is 11 o'clock tonight, maybe some flurries. Then as we go overnight, the blues showing up. There's where we're getting light accumulating snow. I'd say 4 to 7 a.m. in the metro area. Light snow arriving and starting to stick. There we are at 10 a.m. and still into early afternoon, ongoing light snow. What may join the snow in the afternoon, and then what happens after our 1 to 2 inches of accumulation coming up. Okay. Oh, boy. Here comes Rory Gregory. Hey, Ro, come here, girl. Come here, girl. How are you? Did you get a haircut? Did you get a haircut? Did you get a haircut? Are you not patient? Are you not patient? Yeah. Look who dropped by the Home Weather Center, Rory Gregory, ready to leave some paw prints in the snow tomorrow. Wink, wink. We'll talk about the arrival and potential amounts coming up. Go get him, Rory. Because it's just the 11, so it works well. Oh, my. I'd be good at that because I can, I'm a over-the-road driver, man. Yep, I could do the long haul. Having the sleeping cabin right behind me, that's awesome. Get a little tired, pull over, sleep. Yep. You realize like UPS and FedEx and Venture, they can control the speed of their trucks. They can, they can limit how fast they go. Meaning they're not going to go over 70 or 75 or whatever they've got these operation centers where you can see where the truck is, how fast it's going, and it's pretty sophisticated. I think as I understood it, it's kind of like a governor is set on it.
The Indiana Motor Truck Association and Connexus, Indiana.
A student can come into the CDL Plus program and walk out with their driver's license training and walk into a facility like Venture Logistics right out of the program.
Bryce Carpenter is with Connexus, a nonprofit organization focused on the advanced manufacturing and logistics industries in the state.
The CDL Plus program is an enhanced commercial driver's license program that not only teaches the federal minimum required training, as most states do, but also has an academic portion that includes 17 credit hours towards a 2-year logistics and supply chain degree at Ivy Tech.
Advanced manufacturing and logistics is a third of Indiana's GDP. $560 billion worth of goods come through the state each year. Predominantly, that is through the trucking industry, and there is a shortage of roughly 80,000 truck drivers nationally. The IMTA estimates there is about 4,000 drivers short within the state.
The overall goal is to eliminate some of the friction and resistance for people getting into the trucking industry from a CDL driver's perspective.
For many drivers, the financial barrier is an obstacle of entry to enter into the industry, as well as the time it takes to train. Because of the academic credits, the CDL Plus program at Ivy Tech is eligible for federal student loans, but also for the Next Level Jobs Grant, which goes towards your training.
It was a critical need before the pandemic. It's going to be even more critical on the back end, given how many more things are being delivered.
It is one opportunity for Hoosiers to find stable employment, as well as a pathway to climb the ladder in this career. For Indiana companies, this will offer a new pipeline of talent to an industry that is not going anywhere anytime soon.
A person's really going to do really well in a trucking company and proceed up the ladder and have opportunity. They need to drive a truck for at least a year or two. It gives them a perception that just someone like coming out of college with a logistics degree, they have no idea. So the opportunities at Venture would be warehousing, logistics, 3PL work, warehouse work, driver manager. There's just so many different ways that they can progress when they decide they don't want to drive a truck anymore.
CDL Plus is a 17 credit hour certificate that can be completed in one semester. Students will have 160 hours of training, which prepares them to become a Class A commercial driver's license holder. The CDL Plus curriculum will be offered beginning in January at 5 Ivy Tech campuses. An additional 8 locations will offer the courses as well as by the end of next year. For more info on the program and how to apply, click on this story at hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin Gregory joins us now with a look at our forecast, and we're all wondering what kind of roads we will be driving tomorrow morning, Kevin.
Maybe a bit tricky, certainly not dry the way it looks now. Should be having light snow at that hour. First snow of the season always gets a little more attention. You just say the word snow and everybody perks up. We've got that to talk about here in the morning. Not this evening, not tonight. If you're headed out, we're good. Temperatures, they're at or a little below freezing in many spots. There's the snow, sits back in Oklahoma, Kansas, southwest Missouri. That will continue to spin to the north and east. Temperatures tonight drop into the 20s, so that will ensure that this will be a snow event at least until the afternoon tomorrow. Then we may mix in a little rain with the snow. Temperatures around the freezing mark or below first thing in the morning. This impacts the morning commute. In the afternoon, as I mentioned, could have some rain mix in, and then the snow tapers off tomorrow evening, but of course temperatures will be falling back below freezing. Remember, I mentioned in the big picture, 1 to 2 inches of snow potential. That's the way it plays out, fairly widespread. This is just one forecast model. There are others that may give a little more and others that give less. We'll kind of put it in that category. This is not a lot of moisture to work with this. As we go overnight into the morning hours, 4 a.m., some light snow in the metro area. There we are at 7 a.m., much of central southern Indiana covered. Same thing as we get to 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little heavier south and east along I-74 Greensburg to Cincinnati, Seymour down to Louisville. That'll lower the visibility a bit. Still snow at 1 o'clock, and then by the time we get to the evening hours, we start to see the back edge and the system pulling away. As temperatures climb above freezing, obviously that will improve road conditions, so the treated roadways become slushy or just wet in the afternoon hours. As Thursday rolls on, lots of clouds. They're really going nowhere. Maybe a flurry. Temperatures, they're in the mid-30s. We'll make our move toward warming up as we get past Thursday and into Friday. There are your temperatures below average for this time of the year. Thursday. Friday, temperature right at 40 degrees. Maybe a little rain snow mix potentially Saturday with 41. Then we're solidly in the 40s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week, and lows in the 30s. We'll be back with more news right after this.
As the COVID-19 vaccine begins circulating in Indiana and around the country, there's another big logistical challenge ahead, reminding people to get the second dose.
Derek Stahl from our Scripps station in San Diego explains why experts say it's critical to get both shots.
People who get Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines often feel fatigue or soreness, similar to the shingles vaccine. Doctors say it's a sign the immune system is revving up. But studies show 20% of the people who get the shingles vaccine wind up skipping the second dose. Experts say if that happens with the COVID vaccines, there could be consequences.
It would be silly to give just a single dose.
You don't want to hear about people skipping out after just one dose if the recommendation is to get 2.
The FDA's review of Pfizer's data found one dose could be up to 52% effective, but the data on that was limited, and there are a lot of unknowns surrounding how long protection would last, says vaccine expert Dr. Paul Offit.
I think you can probably say you're going to have short-lived but incomplete incomplete protection, meaning that you have protection for years, not decades, and that you'll have incomplete protection, that likely protection against disease, but possibly not protection against asymptomatic shedding.
Whether immunized people can spread the virus is still an unknown, but Dr. Offit says people who get just one shot are at greater risk of becoming silent spreaders. In a worst-case scenario, scientists at Penn State say skipping the second dose could allow the virus to mutate more easily and potentially become vaccine resistant. It's unlikely, but mutations are already happening. The WHO just announced it detected a new variation of the virus in England.
Does this make the virus more serious? Does it allow the virus to transmit more easily? Does it in any way interfere with diagnostics? Would it in any way interfere with vaccine effectiveness? These are questions. None of these questions have been addressed yet.
When Americans roll up their sleeves to get the COVID-19 vaccine, they'll get this 4x6 index card from the CDC, noting which brand they got and when they need to get their second shot. People who get Pfizer's vaccine will have to wait 21 days before the second dose. People who get Moderna's will need to wait 28 days for round 2. The CDC is encouraging people to photograph their card with their cell phone as a backup, because beyond the card, the logistics of reminders will vary by state and by healthcare provider. But much of the work may fall to the healthcare providers who administer the shots. The government is paying providers $17 for every first dose they give and $28 for every second dose, a financial incentive to encourage that double dose of protection. Derek Stahl for WRTV.
The Immunization Action Coalition says only about 25% of the vaccine providers in the country use a system that can send automated reminders.
A local family is worried they won't be able to pay their bills on time, and that's because they say there's a mail mix-up. Why they think they have not been getting their mail and what we are finding out. That's tonight at 6 p.m. And video released. Metro Police released video of a recent police-involved shooting, what it shows us, and what the chief is saying next at 5:30.